So I came out this morning and decided to work on the generator. I couldn't for the life of me figure out why it wasn't getting fuel. So I decided to just sit there and hold the button. Figured maybe the fuel pump needed to be primed or something. It was just going to take it a while to suck up fuel. And I was right. Suddenly it started to squirt up fuel. So I put the filter back on and plugged it back into the carburetor and held the button again. It filled up the carburetor and everything, and then it fired and seemed to run okay until I let off the button. As soon as I let off the button, it died. I tried it again and it died. So it keeps dying as soon as I let go of the start button. And I went online, I looked, did a little research, and apparently there could be 3 reasons for that. 1, the control board, which is where the button is, could be bad. 2, the thing could be putting out no voltage. It means the voltage regulator's gone bad. And 3, the oil pressure sending unit may be bad. It has to have oil pressure, it has to have voltage, and it has to have a 12-volt signal from the control board. So I have to pull the generator out in order to figure out what the problem is. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So in order to get the generator out, you have to take 4 bolts out from underneath, which are right here. I already took them out. Whoop. Already took these out. But it won't fit through this doorway. So I have to take off all these screws in order to get this this door off, which is ironic since I caulked it yesterday. But that was a mistake. No matter, I'll go ahead and just take all these off. Okay, that's off. And as you can see, I already took this part off to see if this was the problem, but I couldn't find anything wrong with it. But it's a electronic thing, so who knows if there's actually anything wrong with it. You can't really see it. So now I just got to pull the generator out and detach all the wires. It's been a while since my last video, but things have just been insane. Last Tuesday I had planned to do a bunch of work on the van, but got called into work early in the morning, ended up having to drive all the way to south of Chicago and back in one day. And then I had 4 more days of work. So basically between 2 5-day work weeks I had about 30 hours off, which leaves me very little time to do anything, especially considering I normally only work 4 days a week. So I've been getting a lot of overtime, which is good because I need the money, but it's left me very little time to do anything. But a few things have happened. I managed to take the Queen into the shop and have the front end checked because it was creaking, and I just wanted to double check it, and found that the upper ball joints were both bad. So I had those replaced, and they also supposedly did an alignment on it. However, it's worse than it was when I took it in now. So they didn't do a very good job, and I'm going to go and get my money back, particularly because the camber now is way off. If you're looking at the tire from the front, say this is the front of the tire, the bottom is sticking way out on both sides. And the passenger side was out a little bit when I took it in, which is why one of the reasons I took it in the first place. But the driver's side was nice and straight. Now the driver's side is sticking way out, and it's absolutely terrible. So I'm going to take it to a better shop and have it done right and get it straightened out, because I don't want to drive it on brand new tires with the camber all screwed up and wear the tires completely unevenly. Also, one other thing did happen. I want to show you this. Eh? What do you think of that? It's pretty sweet looking, I think. Got the black and the red going. Makes for a nice contrast. Also have it on the back here. Right there. Oh yeah. I think it looks pretty sweet. So people will be able to see that from a nice good distance, which was the whole point. And nobody's going to understand it. That's what I love about it. Okay, what else was there? Oh, I took the generator out, as you saw. I took the case off of it to try to figure out what was wrong, and I couldn't figure it out. There's so many wires and everything going on, and I don't know anything about generators. So there's a generator guy about a half hour from here who's going to take a look at it. Unfortunately, he's busy all this next week. He won't be able to get to it until the beginning of August. So The generator's on the back burner for now, but I will get it taken care of, or I'll take the trip without it. Frankly, I'll find a way to manage without a generator if I have to. Oh, and also the windows. I took it over to a window place in town and had them check, this kind of thing out, because this is happening all over the thing. And they all told me that there's not a whole lot you can do about it unless you can track down the original manufacturer of the windows and get exact replacement rubber. There's really nothing you can do, but they did say that those rubber strips don't do anything toward sealing the window. They don't stop any water anyway. So they told me I don't need to worry about water getting in just because that rubber is shrinking. So I'm not going to worry about it for now. I've got too much other stuff to do, and when I get back from my vacation, I might do something. I'm thinking a couple different options. I might try to find another type of rubber that'll fit and kind of just jury rig it in there, maybe glue it in or something. The other option is to actually pull all the rubber out and replace it with some kind of a black rubber caulk. That's the most appealing possibility in my mind. I think that would be the easiest thing. I have a guy I know that's really good with caulk, and he can make it look real pretty. So that's a possibility. I also got a 4x4 piece of square tubing that I'm going to use to replace the rear bumper. That way I can mount a spare tire and a bike rack on it. Now, it's not a standard RV bumper. It looks like it, but it's not. It's actually much thicker. It's 3/16 of an inch thick. So it's plenty strong enough to hold the tire and the bike without twisting. And I'm going to find a way to attach it to the frame. I'll either bolt it on or weld it. I'm not sure yet. I've got to take the old bumper off. And I think that's what I'm going to do today, because I can't take it in to have the front end done until Monday. I'm scheduled to take it in Monday, and that's when they'll do it. So today I'm going to work on the bumper. Yeah, all right, let's get to it. Okay, so I got the rear bumper off. Some wonderful gifts in here for me, left from spiders from past. Still got to clean this up. But actually, this is nice because it gives me an opportunity to get down in here. This kind of shows you what the before and after is going on. It still doesn't look great up top, but look how it used to look. So anyway, I got to figure out, I don't think these wires go to anything, but this is for that plug that was in the bumper, and then the trailer light. I'm only going to need the trailer light wire. This basically is just a power wire, and it just grounds through the frame. The rest of these wires I'll just have to tape up and tuck up inside. And I'll get rid of this connection because that screams rust. So I'll tap right into this power wire here for the license plate. But anyway, what we got for when I took the bumper off, this bracket was bolted to the frame. You got this that goes over the frame, and then this goes to the side, and then you have one bolt through here and another bolt through here. And then you have this metal plate here, and then it has all these different connections where it'll screw onto this bumper. So what I'm thinking of doing is cutting these welds here with my grinder, grinding these welds off so that I can detach this plate here from the rest of this. That way I'll maintain these brackets that bolt right onto the frame, and I will weld these straight, or maybe I'll even drill through them and bolt them to it. I'm not sure what I'll do yet, but I will somehow attach this plate to the 4x4 square piece that I have to create the new bumper. And it should just slide on and bolt right on. I'll have to measure very carefully, make sure I line it up properly, because if I weld them on in the wrong place, they're not going to slide onto the frame. So it's going to be a little tricky, but I think it'll be worth it. Already sweating. All right, I got to figure out what I'm going to do next. got the first one off. There's a lot of work getting it off. I actually had to unbolt this bracket because it was welded to it. It was welded on the inside. You can see the grinding marks there. But I had to take it off the bumper in order to grind it off properly. But basically, oh great, sweat on my glasses. Damn it. Hold on. Here's how it's going to look. Took the bracket off. You can see that it just sort of sits on like that. It's almost perfect. I was going to cut this piece off, but now I'm thinking I'll leave it on and then just use it as more space to weld, because I think welding is going to be the easiest way to go. But it fits it almost perfectly. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that on that side and then the same thing on the other side. Actually, this is for that side. This is the one that goes on that side. But you get the point. I'm going to cut off the other one and put it on here and then put the other one over there. Then I'm going to have to measure, and measure again before I weld. Because if these aren't spaced perfectly apart, they're not going to fit onto the frame rails. So this is definitely a challenge, but I think it's a challenge I can handle. So I'm going to take a short break and then do the... Morning, everybody. I ran out of time last time and had to stop suddenly because I had to go to work. But I started working again this morning on the bumper. I got the other bracket pulled off. Unfortunately, it's not as easy as I thought it was. I'll show you what the problem is. See, I've got the bumper set up here on jack stands with the brackets sort of put in place. And if you look from the side, you can see that the brackets are not straight. They are curved like the bumper was, which sucks because I thought they were straight. So that complicates things. Not entirely sure what I'm going to do, but I don't think I'm going to be able to use these brackets. I don't have any way to bend them into shape or anything. I don't have a torch. I might end up having to take them off and just weld the bumper straight to the frame, which is annoying, but that might just be what it's going to have to be. I'll have to protect the fiberglass from the heat somehow and then weld it straight to the frame. It's going to bring the bumper in pretty close to the body, which I was hoping to move it back out a little bit. But I'm kind of out of options here, so I'm going to have to look at it a little bit more and see if I can come up with something. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so I pulled the brackets out and I set it back up against the frame. So this is what I have now. And this would work. I could simply weld it straight to the frame and call it a day, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing. I'm not crazy about how close the body is to the body, or how close the bumper is to the body. But I don't see any other options, and I don't really have any specific reasons why it can't be done this way. So this is what I'm going to do. This is the easiest, quickest thing to do, and given that I'm kind of crunched for time, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I got to figure out how to protect the body from the heat of the welding. I think I've got an idea of how to do it. So that'll be the next task. Get out the welder, start a welding. Alright, I've wrapped a few layers of tinfoil around the body. Hopefully that'll protect it from the heat. I'm going to go ahead and weld this. My welder handle seems to have broken, but I'm going to have to make it do. Here we go. Oh, stop that. Brilliant. Probably should connect the ground. Not going to work too well without that. Okay, so the welding is done, and I am pretty sure it's strong. I am not a professional welder. I am a self-taught welder in my garage, so I'm certain 100% that I'm doing something wrong. However, I've welded a lot of things before and they've always held, so I think I weld strong, but not pretty. That being said, let's have a look. You can see all the scrape marks from my inexperience. You can see those welds are really ugly. Over here is a little bit better, but still pretty ugly. They go all the way around the frame rail. The trick to welding that I've figured out myself is that you have to make sure that the metal itself is melting. The welding stick can easily fool you into thinking that the weld is actually taking hold, but you have to really feel for the metal itself melting under the welding stick, because the metal has to sort of blend in with the weld. Otherwise, it's just you're melting welding stick onto metal and it's not actually attaching. So I've made that mistake before. So that being said, I'm 100% certain that I could feel the frame rails melting into the weld because they were so much thinner than the bumper itself. And I'm going to say 90% sure that I could feel the metal of the bumper also taking hold. So I'm going to test this out here. Take a look. Hope you can see that. I'm pretty happy with that. Yep, I think that'll hold. Not exactly scientific or professional, but it works. I came inside for a few minutes to relax, and somebody came to visit.
What you doing, Frank? My kitty?
You're such a goof. He loves to cuddle like this. He doesn't like being picked up and held, but if I'm on the couch, he's always with me.
Aren't you, Frank? Yes.
Alright, I'll get back to work in a few minutes. Alright, so now that I got the bumper welded on, I went ahead and just zip tied the plate to it for now. I'll do it right later, but this is temporary. I'm gonna go dump the tanks now. Oh, doggone it. What is with these mirrors? The mirrors keep folding in. Hang on, let me fix it. Oops. Every time I close the doors, the mirror comes in a little bit. What I didn't realize until recently is that this thing also has electronic mirrors, or electric mirrors, electric adjust mirrors. But that doesn't do you much good if the whole freaking thing keeps moving. Anyway, as I was saying, I had, as you saw in my previous video, I bought a real cheap sewer hose. Didn't even realize it didn't come with an attachment. So I went ahead and ordered one online with a bunch of other stuff, and it finally came today. So I put it on, and now I'm going to go dump the tanks. There's a small gas station in town that I'm told has a dump station. Probably not water, but at least has a place to dump the sewer. So I'm gonna head over there, and then I'm gonna go pick up a steam cleaner for the carpet, and then a couple other things. So, all right, see you in a bit. Okay, so this place does have a dump station. I'm trying to talk softly because there's a lot of people around here. I don't want to seem like a psycho. But basically, I have two of them. I've got this one for the toilet and then this one for the gray. But the toilet is not a regular toilet. You can't just pull this valve and dump it. I'll show you how this works. But first you attach the hose, obviously, and then here's the sewage. It's kind of nasty. Stick that down in there. Let that weight it down. And then what you do with mine is you have to come in here to pull this valve. Okay, so I pulled that valve, but you'll notice nothing's coming out, and I'll show you why. We have to go inside. Whew. It's still hot out. We've had 90-degree weather consistently for the last 2 months or so. May not seem like a lot to you people in the South, but up here in Michigan, it's hot. So anyway, back here in the bathroom. Damn it. Come down here. This little handle down here, which I didn't know what it was before, is a dump handle. You pull this. You're supposed to be able to pull this. There it goes. And it all dumps out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the pump on. And I'm going to actually use the shower hose to rinse out this a little bit. I'll put you down while I do it. There we go. It's not ideal, but it works. So now I go back outside. First I gotta close this valve. There we go. Now I go back outside, switch over, and dump the gray water. Forgot my gloves. Ah, jeez. Fortunately, that's just gray. Note to self, get gloves. Oh, man. Okay. Okay, that was fairly easy. Fortunately, they had a water spigot right there, so I was able to wash my hands, but it's not potable water, so you don't want to put it in the tanks, but it was good enough to clean my hands. I'll remember gloves next time. I'm gonna stock them up in this thing. You gotta watch the rear swing on this thing, man. You wouldn't think it'd be very much, but there's a lot sticking out behind the rear tires in this baby. And that thing will swing out and hit shit so easy. Anyway, so now that the tanks are empty, I'm gonna head down to Walmart and pick up a steam cleaner for the carpet, and just clean it as best I can. Clean the cushions, just give it as good a cleaning as I can. It's not gonna be perfect. I suspect a lot of the stains aren't gonna come out, but it'll at least be mostly clean. And then maybe next year I'll put new carpeting or some other kind of flooring in here, because the carpeting's pretty far gone. But for today and for my vacation this year, I'm just going to make it nice enough, making sure it doesn't stink or anything, because there is a bit of an odor in here. So I'm going to take care of that. Alright, battery on the camera is getting low, but I'm going to be able to charge it up, so I'll see you when I get home. Okay, so took a short break. I got it plugged in right now. Air conditioning's running. The air conditioner is so-so. It's not up to as strong as I think it should be, but it's enough to keep me from sweating like crazy in here. So if I don't have time or money to get it recharged before I go, it's just gonna have to be as good as it is. So anyway, the next thing I'm gonna do is replace a lot of these incandescent light bulbs with LEDs. I bought these guys right here to replace that light and the other one in the bathroom. I got these here, which are more directional, to replace these light bulbs. And they are all pretty much the same fitting. And then this other one, if I could find it, here it is. This one, real big one, is for the outside light that goes up on the outside wall. That's a lot brighter than the others. So let's see. We'll take this one. I think I pulled the bulb out of this one already. Yep. So this should just. It should just. Oh crap. Uh-oh. Okay, bummer. One thing I didn't anticipate is that while the base is the same, identical, the bulb is skinnier. See the difference? This part is much wider than this. And so these don't fit in those little lamps. Darn it. Okay, rats. So I'll put this thing back. They're not that easy to put in either. You have to get it just right. And then you have to push and twist. Man, like, I feel like I'm gonna break it. Okay, so these, which I bought for the other lamps, these fit. They're not as directional as I was going for, but these would work. I can just order more of these. Hopefully the place I bought them from will take these back. Damn, that sucks. Oh well. Alright, so I'll at least install these where they belong. Oh yeah. Beautiful. LED is always preferable over incandescent. It may not be the most pleasant light in the world, but much less power consumption. So I'm going to replace LEDs wherever I can. Unfortunately, these here, not so easy to replace. You can't just get an LED replacement bulb for those. You know, the fluorescent works in a completely different way. They've got a whole ballast thing going on. And it is possible to replace these by modifying the lamp. Basically, I saw one place that you cut the wires that come in from the main power source that normally go into the ballast. You just cut those and then you tie them into separate LED bulbs that literally have an adhesive that just stick up here. So you just eliminate the whole thing and keep the lamp itself. That's an option, but I'm probably not going to right now. Fluorescent uses a little bit more power than LED, but not very much. So these will be good enough for now. Okay, so slight change of plans. I started to install a hybrid system into the water heater so that I could use it to heat the water under electricity instead of using the propane. And I got the probe installed and everything, except the wiring isn't long enough to reach the nearest outlet. So I'm going to have to make some extensions and so forth, and it's too late to do it now, so I'm going to have to do that tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and upload what I can, which is what you just saw, and finish off the rest tomorrow. So I'll show you what I recorded today about the hybrid heat kit. I'll put that in the next video. So you'll see me wearing the same thing because it will be from today, but it'll be in my next video. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. We're getting very close. It's that close to done. With any luck, I'll actually be able to take her on an overnight trip. Let's see, what's today? Monday? Next Monday. Maybe Sunday. This coming Sunday or Monday, I think I'm going to go up north. I got a family cottage up north, and I got some cousins visiting up there, so I may just jump in the Queen and head up there and spend the night. So hopefully I can get her all done tomorrow and the next day, and she'll be good to go, and everything else is just little, here's and there's. So let me know what you think. Any more questions? I'm happy to hear advice people have. I know some people have already given me some thoughts and ideas on things I can do. And I'm always interested to hear other people's opinions and thoughts and questions and so forth. And I'll put my email in the description. Feel free to email me if you want to talk or anything. I don't give out my phone number, but I'm more than happy to email. But anyway, thanks for watching, and keep an eye out for the next one, which should be in the next day or two. Bye.